Hey Garden Dwellers farm fans. As an herb farmer, one thing I really like to do is look in the markets and in the stores and look for all sorts of new herb products, herb kitchen gadgets. I love to cook and I love kitchen gadgets, but I especially, because I'm an herb farmer, like to look for the ones that have to do with herbs. Now, up until now, I have not found one that is really worth spending the money, but I just found this one called the herbsicle. And it was so fantastic, I just thought I wanted to share it with you. Now, this is a Chefin brand herbsicle, and I'm going to tell you the one downfall of it right off the bat. The first and only downfall that I've found is that it is a little bit expensive. One little herbsicle like this is going to cost you $7.99. Now, that's great if you just want one. $7.99 for a kitchen gadget, that's not too bad. But if you're like me and you want 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, it could be costing you a pretty penny. Originally, I hadn't done this video blog because I thought it might be a little too expensive, but I tell you what, after buying my first one, I ran out and bought 3 more because they are just the coolest thing. Now, the herbsicle is meant to be used with the softer leafed herbs like basil and cilantro and dill and parsley, those things that really don't have a woody or a hard stem and have those really soft leaves. In the past, I've always just put them into an ice cube tray, chopped them up rough, put them in an ice cube tray, put a little water with them, and froze them as a little ice cube, which is great if you're using them in roasts or pot roasts. But you don't always want to use your herbs that way, and because you're diluting them with water, it doesn't always turn out with the greatest flavor either. So I'm going to show you how this little herbsicle from the Chefin line, or Chefin brand, works. Basically, it is the simplest little device. It has a little screw on bottom. You leave that screwed on. It has a top that you can pull out like this, the little plunger, and you end up with this little cup looking piece. You take that and you stuff it with the herbs that you want to freeze. Now, one of the things that I always hate freezing normally is cilantro, because it can turn into just a black ushy gushy mess really fast. And you never really get, when you do it in an ice cube tray or some other way, you never really get that great cilantro flavor that you're looking for with fresh cilantro. So in the past, I have never saved any cilantro over the winter for our winter use. But after I found this herbsicle and I saw how well it did with the basil that I made, oh, believe me, I went out and, like I say, I bought 3 more because I just thought this was the greatest thing for these leafy, soft herbs. It's the end of the season. I want to make sure that I have some for winter, and I'm basically just pressing this stuff in there as much as I possibly can because I want enough to last me through most of the winter, which of course that's not going to, but it's sure going to help. And you take the little plunger, insert it in there, turn the plunger, and it compresses it down. Oh, I'm getting some juice. That's great. That's fine. And just because I want a whole bunch, I'm going to try and stuff a little bit more in there. I saw that with the plunger action, I can put just a little bit more herb in there and still have room to squeeze it down. I'll put the plunger back in. I'm going to compress it. And now this goes into the freezer. So we're going to freeze that. And I already have done that. I pulled my basil out just so I could show you how nicely it works. Once that is frozen, and I've already used, you can tell, I've only had this a few weeks, and I've already used almost all of the basil that I froze in it a couple of weeks ago. You pull it out, you unscrew the bottom cap, you turn the handle to expose your frozen herb, and then you just grate it into your favorite recipe. And I wish that you were here right now because, oh, that smell is just like fresh, picked out of the garden, just freshly taken from the earth basil. The nice thing about it this way is this: when you're done, you grate off only what you need. It twists back up in there, you put the lid back on, and back into the freezer it goes till the next time you want some fresh herbs. The other nice little thing about this particular tool is it does on the top say label me. And so it allows you to have several different ones of these in your freezer, and they may all look green while they're sitting in there, but you can label the top to make sure you know exactly what's what. So that is probably the only herb gadget, kitchen gadget that I've found, and I've bought a lot of them, that I really, really like, and I just wanted to share it with you again. It's the Chefin brand herbsicle, and I purchased it at Gourmet Chef in Minot, but I'm sure they're available in other cooking stores. And I just want you to remember to live life well seasoned.